Welcome back. Happy Friday, and glad you're with us this morning as we jumpstart your morning talking about pigs in a blanket.
Yep. In fact, you'll see people out on the Chicago River this morning for an outdoor festival dedicated to this snack. And that's where Jackie Kostek is right now. Jackie, I grew up with pigs in a blanket, meaning hot dogs and crescent rolls. Is that the case there?
Yeah. Dana and Audrina, good morning to you. Actually, the pigs in the blanket are being served up by some sous chefs from Frontera Grill. So they're much elevated from the old crescent roll and the little hot dogs that we find or that we had back in the day. But yes, we're out here for Piggies on the River. And I do want to make sure that everybody understands, yes, it's a little bit about pigs in the blanket, but it's actually more about urban rivers and the wild mile and these floating gardens that they've created to help clean our waterways, clean the Chicago River, and help our ecosystem here in Chicago. So it has a much deeper meaning than just pigs in the blanket, the snack. They also have dark matter coffee out here this morning. They've got snacks over here. They've got a beautiful fire pit. Good morning to you, the hardy Chicagoans who have shown up this morning for Piggies on the River. And by the way, I didn't even mention, but it is a stunning morning out here on the Chicago River. Take a look really quick at the skyline before we get to our first interview. But yeah, it's a good morning to come out here and just enjoy the cold, hardy weather. I'm here with Chef Gervonica Jacobs from Frontera Grill this morning. Chef, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so why did you guys want to participate in Piggies on the River, this festival?
Well, I will say without water, there's no food. And it's really important that we keep our waterways clean. And it's so important to us to just bring community and just make sure we're having safe waterways to provide food and wildlife and to like really enjoy that.
Absolutely. And we have all of that this morning, especially the community and the really good food. So you've whipped up two, again, very elevated versions of pigs in the blanket. So what are we looking at here?
All right. So first we have our classic pork breakfast sausage here, and that can be served with the maple syrup. And then, of course, Frontera had to do their own twist on it.
Of course, yes.
We have some homemade chorizo with salsa verde. So please come and enjoy some good food.
Oh my gosh, are you staying warm so far this morning?
As warm as I can be.
Yeah, as warm as we can. It is still pretty chilly out here, even though it's much warmer than it had been, and it is much warmer than it's going to be in the next couple days. Chef, thank you so much for your time.
Of course, thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you guys, again, this is put on by Urban Rivers, which is an organization that's been around for some time in Chicago, but they just started building these floating gardens. They had the pilot gardens built in like 2018, and then the first substantial garden here near REI in Lincoln Park was built in 2021. So throughout the morning, we'll tell you more about the work they're doing in the city of Chicago to again, help the Chicago River be as clean as possible. But yeah, here's a plate. Here, look at those pigs in the blanket, pigs on the river, pigs everywhere. Ladies, back to you.
Those look so much better than the hot dogs in the crescent roll that I had growing up, Jackie, even though those are delicious too.
I know.
Enjoy. We'll see you later.
Yes.
Ballpark Frank, but we are jump-starting your morning from something basically called Pigs in a Blanket Festival. In fact, you'll see people out on the Chicago River this morning for an outdoor festival dedicated to pigs in blankets. And that's where Jackie Kostek is right now. Jackie, it's so much more, though, than some sort of sausage wrapped in some sort of carb, right?
Dana, yes, good morning to you. We're out here on the North Branch of the Chicago River. The sun has risen on our Friday morning. And yes, this festival is about a lot more than just pigs in a blanket, but it is about pigs in a blanket too. We're going to get to Chef Rick Bayless from Frontera Grill in just a moment. But first, we're here with Lou Bank to talk about why we're really here, which is cleaning the Chicago River and using some new technology to do that. So you're with Sacred Agave. So good morning to you, Lou.
Good morning. And actually, it's not new technology. That's the beauty of it. It's this ancient technology. This beautiful floating garden that we're on is based on the technology that was built thousands of years ago in what's now Mexico City, this place called the Chinampas. It's floating farms that feeds Mexico City.
Wow.
I know.
That is incredible. That is incredible. These were put in by Urban Rivers, which is an organization here in Chicago. It's so cold. I'm tripping over my words, Lou. But your organization that you founded is called Sacred Agave. What is that all about?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is, as we're consuming more tequila and more mezcal here in Chicago and throughout the world, we're putting all of this environmental pressure on the communities that make it. And in so many of these communities, they're really focused on trying to maintain this multi-generational wisdom that I think is so vital to the way that we progress as a society. I think there are literally solutions to the problems that we face in this ancient wisdom, and this is a floating example of exactly that.
Oh my gosh. Lou, how do people get involved in the work that you're doing in and around Chicago?
Oh, you know, if you like to get involved in helping to support these communities, there's a bunch of ways to do it. If you want to do it through Sacred Agave, contact us at sacredagave.org or check us out online at, on Instagram at Sacred Agave. And we love donations. We love getting people involved in the events that we do.
Yes.
We love making people come down to places like the Wild Mile early at 6 a.m. on a Friday morning to eat pigs in a blanket.
Right, exactly. And speaking of those pigs in a blanket, Lou, thank you so much for your time this morning. We're going to head over to Chef Rick Bayless, who has come here this morning from all of his restaurants, and with Chef Javonica Jacobs as well. So good morning to both of you.
Around here someplace.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Zach's here too.
Out here serving pigs in a blanket, which seemed like a much better idea a couple of months ago when we said yes. But
Well, actually, now that the sun has risen, it's not quite as cold as it was before. These are elevated pigs in a blanket, as everything you do are.
No, these are real pigs sort of pigs in a blanket. Okay, it's puff pastry wrapped around some beautiful chorizo sausage, and we're putting salsa verde on that. And then we have breakfast sausage also wrapped in puff pastry with this beautiful Bliss maple syrup. I mean, it tastes so good out here.
Yeah, it really does. You're speaking my language this morning. They've also got coffee from Dark Matter as well. So come out here and enjoy the last hour of Piggies on the River. This is first of its kind festival to really talk about and learn more about cleaning our Chicago Riverway, or the Chicago River. I'm all over the place this morning. Dana, back to you.
On the River is a festival on floating gardens along the Chicago River, and Jackie Kostek joins us now with a look at all the fun out there on this beautiful winter day. Jackie?
It's nice.
Dana and Audrina, it is a beautiful winter day. The funny thing is they actually planned this hoping that it would be on the coldest day of the year. Thankfully for us, it's not actually the coldest day of the year, which would potentially be Monday or Tuesday of next week. But I'm here with Sage Rossman from Urban Rivers this morning, which had put in all of these floating gardens around the Chicago River. Good morning to you, Sage.
Good morning.
Okay, so talk about this project of the floating gardens and where we're standing right now.
Yeah, so we are on the Wild Mile. This is the flagship project of the nonprofit I work for, Urban Rivers.
Yes.
It's a habitat restoration project, so we're bringing really high quality, biodiverse, native wetland habitat back to the river.
Okay, which includes, which I think is absolutely fascinating, these freshwater mussels, and that's sort of working in part to clean the Chicago River. So let's take a look at some of these, the mussel, I don't know, what would you call these?
Mussel bunkers is what we fondly call them. The formal term would be submerged modules.
Okay.
So down there's a basket, and we're basically putting kind of recreating a natural river bottom, because in these urbanized waterways, the bottom is super mucky and silty. These are burrowing mussels here, our native species. Unlike the invasive mussels in the lake, those are encrusting. These guys need a nice bottom condition to burrow into.
Gotcha.
And when they're there, they filter feed. So they suck all of their food out of the water column, and then they also are helping to filter the water, improve clarity, and take some of those chemicals and heavy metals out of the water as well.
So essentially it's a natural way of restoring the Chicago River.
Yes, natural. They are a native species. There used to be millions of them lining the bottom of the Chicago River, and unfortunately it's very hard for them to get a foothold here these days.
Okay, and so your plan and your hope is to extend this floating garden for quite a ways, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this is the original 400 feet. We just added another 300 linear feet earlier. 2024, it's last year, and we actually put in our largest submerged module yet, so it's called a little riverine. It has a nice little winding appearance to it, and it's going to support not just the freshwater mussels here, but also other species of mussels and nesting fish, macroinvertebrates, ideally a whole natural river ecosystem here.
Wow, okay, cool. And you guys are the ones who put on Piggies on the River, which is this really fun, first of its kind festival that, again, was supposed to be on the coldest day of the year here in Chicago, but thankfully for us, it's not the coldest Day, but we've had a lot of pigs in the blanket, which is a fun way, I think, to get people involved in something that has a much deeper purpose. So Sage, thank you so much for your time. We got to hang out with you this summer. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to come out here in the summer, learn a little bit more, and enjoy ourselves outside. But the sun is beautiful. Ladies, back to you.
Yeah, thank goodness for that sunshine and a little bit warmer temperatures out there for this event. Jackie, thank you.